But straight away, let's get you more updates on the ED investigation that is being carried out in Channi's nephew, who has now been placed under arrest. In the course of the investigation, ED has found several mines that were being excavated by various machines and mining that was being carried out illegally in those designated areas. Now, what we are told, let me go across straight to Amandeep, that several of those raids that were conducted in different locations there, Amandeep, we are also getting to know as far as Charanjit Singh Channi's nephew is concerned, he's likely to be produced before the special court at Mohali, same place where the Aam Aadmi Party is also expected to do a press briefing on the very same issue.
Absolutely, Amita. The point is that one day ED carried out raids at several places, including Mohali, against Charanjit Singh Channi's nephew, and even recovered 10 crore rupees. And today he has placed under arrest and he will be produced in Mohali ED special court, and ED will seek definitely custody of Bhupender Singh Honey, just because they know there is a biggest chain behind this. But Amita, let me remind by showing you the visuals that this is the same society, similar society, where the ED has carried out raid at the residence of Bhupender Singh Honey, from where they have collected 6 crore rupees. The same society in Mohali where we are standing right now, outside that society. And in fact, today when he is under arrest, his flat has been seized, the document has been seized, and even the cash has been recovered, gold has been seized, and he is under arrest and he will be produced. Just because, Amita, last night, yesterday evening, in fact, Bhupender Singh Honey was called by Enforcement Directorate Agency for the questioning related to the illegal sand mining case and the recovery of the cash and gold from his possession during the raid. And in fact, after almost 9 to 10 hours long questioning, Bhupender Singh Honey failed to produce any kind of justification and the relevant evidence which can prove that the cash that was recovered from his possession is white money, and in fact any paper related to that. That is the reason ED finally, after questioning him for continuously 10 hours, put him under arrest. And in fact, now they are preparing the remand paper to seek his custody before the ED special court, just because ED has sense and smell that there is a biggest chain and biggest nexus behind this, where politicians or several high-profile people might be involved into this entire chain. So that is the reason they are carried out these raids. They are now further carry forward the investigation into this case.
Even after
but
the raids are carrying out, the arrest that
is
now taken place, and he will be produced before the special court there in Mohali. Amandeep, just stay on with us. Let me also bring in Shravan on board. Shravan, good morning. Now take us through the course of investigation that has been lined up by the ED.
Well, in fact, the Enforcement Directorate had initiated a money laundering investigation on the basis of an FIR that was registered by the Punjab Police. This was registered back in 2018. And thereafter, the investigation that was carried out by the Enforcement Directorate revealed that there were several mines across the state that were being excavated by various machines, and mining was being carried out beyond the designated area. That's point number one. Thereafter, it is not, as what is being alleged by several political parties, that this is an investigation that has suddenly gained momentum ahead of the Punjab polls. But it was after the 2018 FIR that was registered, we given to understand several items were basically seized by the investigating team of the Enforcement Directorate, which includes machines that were basically being used for the excavation. All of that happened, and not just that, they were also able to seize some of those trucks that were overloaded with sand, in which they found out that there were weightment slips which had official stamps, and they were issued by a concerned office. And it turns out that some of these stamps that were on the bag were basically being forged. That is the reason why the ambit of the investigation was basically widened. It was not just one mining site. For instance, Malikpur mining site was not the only one which was finally stopped, but as per the FIR, given to understand, at least 5 other locations where the mining was still taking place. Now, coming back quickly to Bhupender Singh Honey is concerned, remember, searches were carried out 2 weeks ago, in which the Enforcement Directorate basically seized roughly about 7.9 crore rupees. from Bhupender's premises.
Right.
2 crore rupees they had received from another accused in this particular matter called Sandeep Kumar. Now here the question is about two companies that have come under the scanner of the Enforcement Directorate and shell companies, which they believe was basically being used to launder money, and money that they were basically getting from carrying out illegal sand mining.
Right. Right. As far as the opposition is concerned, because there is a lot of political ramifications just right ahead of the elections there, the opposition is claiming that this is nothing but political vendetta and the central agencies are being misused. Listen in.
तो मीडिया से भी ये पूछना चाहते हैं कि इस बात का जवाब दें कि जब 2018 में ये एफआईआर दर्ज हुई थी उसमें भूपेंद्र हनी का कोई नाम नहीं था। अचानक प्रधानमंत्री जी की रैली फेल होती है, 70,000 कुर्सियां लगाई जाती है, 700 बंदा वहां पहुंचता नहीं और चन्नी जी के ऊपर ठीकरा फोड़ा जाता है, उनको टारगेट किया जा रहा है और उस केस में भूपेंद्र हनी का नाम लेकर आप 20-25 जगहों पे जाकर के आप रेड करते हो। आपने कोई पैसे पकड़े की वीडियोग्राफी की हो, आपने कहीं दिखाया हो कि ये देखो हमने पैसा इनसे पकड़ा है। आप कहां से पैसा इकट्ठा करके एक जगह इकट्ठा करके दिखा रहे हो? इसका मतलब ये है कि आपने बदलाखोरी की भावना से ये कार्रवाई की है।
Whenever the centre is on fire, ED is on hire. So they have been put on the job, just like we've been seeing in Maharashtra, we've been seeing in various other states, that as soon as Bharatiya Janata Party starts to feel threatened, they use ED, IT, CBI and now even NCB. It is extremely unfortunate that institutions are being demoralized and institutions are being undermined for the Bharatiya Janata Party to continue being in power.
I think, Amandeep, if you can take us through the political ramifications there, because ED will be questioning Bhupinder Singh Hani, his two associates, also about the source of the cash that has been seized, and after several hours of questioning, the arrest that has taken place. But the political ramifications, because the elections are near, the Channis have already said that this is political vendetta. But on the other side, we're looking at the Aam Aadmi Party, who will be taking on the Congress government today.
Absolutely, Amita. The point is that now Congress is considering that ED is just a tool of BJP in the poll-bound states. Whenever the election happens, BJP use ED, IT as their tool against the opposition, and this is what happening in Punjab. That day, remember, Amita, that day when the ED has carried out the raids and recovered 10 crore of cash from Charanjit Singh Channi's nephew, after just next day of that, Charanjit Singh Channi, Chief Minister of Punjab, Home Minister Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa, Local Bodies Minister Brahm Mahindra and Mining Minister Sukhbinder Sarkaria. 4 ministers held a press conference in Chandigarh claiming it that ED is just a tool and they have produced the documents also of 2018 claiming it that ED is a tool of BJP and now this is just a political raid, and in fact they have leveled very serious allegations against the ED that ED has threatened Charanjit Singh Channi's nephew and asked him to deliver the message to Charanjit Singh Channi that they have not allowed Prime Minister Modi to hold the rally. This is all will happen with Charanjit Singh Channi. Just wait and watch. These are kind of allegations they have leveled Congress party against ED as well as BJP. But the fact of the matter is, this is just an FIR that was registered in 2018 and ED has just registered another FIR on the basis of that facts. On the other side, Aam Aadmi Party is going to hold a press conference at 1 p.m. in Mohali against Charanjit Singh Channi's nephew's arrest also. They will claim that they have certain kind of data and
so
the facts they will reveal.
So all of those series of questions that are being raised by the opposition there, for the moment, Amandeep, we'll just come back to you. We're just getting live pictures right now. We have to move on to